All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is in the cosmos, whenever this is finding you. Welcome or welcome back. Thank you so much for being here, for co creating community, and for all of that engagement, the likes and the shares and the subscribes and the etc. It's very helpful in getting these videos out to a wider collective and hopefully helping more people that way. Today we are going to be tapping in a little bit to the summer solstice energy and seeing what Spirit has to share with y'all today. So I haven't had any big visuals or downloads about this. In fact, I'm quite up to date with the astrology right now because I generally don't watch more than like a couple of videos in a day, which requires me to prioritize things. And so there's nothing clouding my idea of what this summer solstice is supposed to be about, what it's supposed to feel like, what it's supposed to mean, what it's supposed to be in regards to. But I do know that today, the 21st of June, at least where I am in the world, is the summer solstice. I guess it will be the winter solstice if you don't live here. So still big themes about turning points, you know. And also, this is a summer solstice energy, which is like a full moon energy in a sense. And we just recently had a new moon. So there's definitely something about extremes and turning points there. Right now is also the beginning of Cancer season. It is the very first day, as far as I am aware. Again, I haven't been keeping up with my astrology videos, but we're just at the beginning of the sun being in Cancer. And today, as we have this summer solstice, it's also a first quarter moon, like a waxing moon, in the sign of Virgo, which I found incredibly perfect and particularly fun, given the fact that the Virgo reading is going to be coming in tomorrow. And I've been receiving so many synchronicities and signs in the with the number 6 lately, which is a number that is associated with Virgo. It's also associated with the Lovers card, which is also known as the choice. So what were we just talking about? Turning points, extremes, choices. Yeah. Cancer, Virgo, summer solstice, full moons, new moons. That's all I've got. If any of you guys know anything particular about the astrology right now and have been prioritizing those sorts of things in your YouTube time, please feel free to let me know. I've been very much hunkering down with my boundaries and limits and all these Virgoan things. How you say that, huh? Let's see here. I did try and set up a different picture for the live today so that hopefully we don't get like a bunch of people spamming and hitting on me in the comments, because that's just not helpful to anybody that's here for the other reasons. But I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Hello, 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 hello. Aisha Santiago, are those 2 stars? Did you get that on your keyboard? How do you do that? That's very cool. Okay, anyways, moving on. Because I don't have a great idea of the energy from a left-brained, cerebral kind of place, I'm going to grab us some index cards right here. Oh, thank you, Aisha. There's no chance by any chance that you are George's niece, is there? That would be so funny. Either way, welcome. Welcome in. So I'm going to pull some index cards and just get some random confirmations and vibes for the people here today. Spirit, please allow me to channel a message in alignment with this collective's greatest and highest good, balanced with that of the collective at large. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your protection. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Freya, Folly, Michael, Mary, please be here with me now. Please allow me to see. Whoa. What do we need? Oh, that was turned around, huh? Oh my goodness. Might need to put those back in the deck. They might have just already been backwards. Is there a message in there? Or am I just reading into things too deeply, huh? Gotta keep it open. Yeah, man. There's some wacky energy in here. I see red. I see bee. I see harmonica. I see fake. Cowboy. Pina colada. Jump. There may be some reference to the ringing sword of the bard. That was a video I put out kind of recently. Oh, and I got the stars by Kika Keyboard. Oh, cool. I'm going to have to check that out. I love to confuse people with my internet grammar and punctuation. Because we have so many more options these days than our grandparents did. Silly. Boring. I'm just kidding. How are y'all doing today? How are you doing with the weather? How are you doing with the summer solstice energy? How are you doing with life? Ooh. Curious and nosy minds want to know. Also, feel free to let me know if you have any pertinent personal questions that you would like for me to pull some cards on today. Because I do have the time, the ability, the energy for that. Oh, okay. We got myrrh. Like prayer, like devotion, like sensuality, grounding. What does myrrh mean to you? Then we got renew, monarch at 444, which is very much giving the energy of like a new king, a change of management, you know? This is like emperor energy, this monarch 444. So there's a shift in power. There's a shift in rulership, whatever that means for you in your life, in your particular situation right now. Probably will be a little bit different for all of y'all. And Spirit, could I please just get 1 to 7 cards to add on to this anchor message here? Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh no. We got Harry, harmonica, and Hakuna Matata, which is very clearly for me Harry referring to a challenging situation, harmonica referring to a harmony filled, you know? like a frequency that is smooth, that is productive, that is natural, that is sustainable, that is whimsical, that is musical, that would bring a smile to your face. You know what I mean? And what does Hakuna Matata mean, right? I'm literally asking, remind me. It means no worries, something like that. That's funny. I say that all the time. People say anything to me, and I'll just be like, "No worries, no worries." I should, you know how some people say sorry too much. I also think I do that, but it's very much like that. Okay, so yes, worries. Don't get caught up in it. Don't freak out about it. But acknowledge the hairy situation that you are in, or you have recently been in, or you have, coming up to deal with in the present moment, in the near future. Acknowledge the darkness. Acknowledge the challenge. Acknowledge what is going on there. The hairiness of the nature of that situation. And also acknowledge your heartfelt desire to not be in that energy, because if you are able to acknowledge that, then you are able to motivate yourself and remain like clear and integrated and not lie to yourself in all these very little ways that we accumulate when we aren't willing to look at the fact that we don't want to be where we are, because it's like a discomfort to feel, I don't like this, I want something different, but to not really know how to get this harmony, not really know exactly where we're going. So a lot of times people will try to convince themselves that where they are is actually where they want to be. Like they will generate this story and this delusion to help them feel better about where they are, because they don't feel fully empowered or prepared or whatever to go forth into what they do want. But they want to feel the feeling of having what they do want. So they tell themselves, I have what I want. So I don't have to fail, I don't have to try, I don't have to take risks. You're going to have to take risks, and you're going to have to maintain an Hakuna Matata attitude as you take risks in order to get yourself out of this hairy situation. Remember to ask Spirit for support and help and protection as you move through that process. Myrrh resin might not be like your personal go-to thing. I don't know. You take baths with rose petals, or you slowly drink a cup of lemon balm tea. Whatever is calling to you specifically right now. Oh, is there some water on the table? Oh, is it a very emotional time for you right now? Is your ice heart dripping all over? What is that video? Somewhere my heart went cold. Maybe something in there for you as well. Oh, whoa, we got some comments here. Hi, hello. Lilyfish Princess? Yeah. Oh, and Aisha said tomorrow my brother's birthday. He's turning 19. 19 has been a very big serendipitous number for me lately, as well as 6. So that's very interesting you say that. Happy birthday, Aisha. Wait, you are new, right? You aren't the one that said I will do anything you tell me to. Also, my brother would also do whatever I tell you to. If you're that person, I forgot to mention in that video, you know, don't ever do anything anybody tells you to do. And that's kind of the whole point here, is for me to encourage you to not listen to me and to listen to you, right? Did you know it's impossible to say it? Oh. If people say rough, rough twice in a row fast, does it sound like they're a dog? Is that like a dad joke? It is Father's Day today. I totally forgot to mention Cancer season, Father's Day, summer solstice, waxing moon in Virgo, all the things. That wasn't you, Aisha. Thank you for clearing that up. I didn't think so. Okay. So, it's not impossible to say. I just said it. Ruff, ruff. I'm not going to let you bait me into whatever this is. No. Let's start with some classic Rider Waite Smith, because I feel like that would be a great neutral energy to start with, since this is probably a pretty large collective. Spirit, is there anything that this group needs to see, hear, feel, think, experience at this time that would assist them in improving this process, this evolution that they're going through, this intentional growth and shift and change of whatever kind is relevant to them at this time? What's going on with this summer solstice, Spirit? Oh, I don't know if it was reversed or not before I dropped it, but it is now, and that feels right. So I'm going to leave it. Could I please get a clarifier on the Eight of Wands? Right? Yeah, the Eight of Wands in the recent past. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey Aisha, do you watch a lot of tarot, or is this your first introduction to like divination channels? What brings you here today? The Sun. Could I please get a clarifier on this Five of Pentacles in the present position? Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. I almost, what? It looks like the Hanged Man almost came out. So you may be in kind of a little bit of like a space of contemplation right now. You may be dealing with something where you have like a decision to make, a change that you feel inspired or called to make, but it's like you're not quite there yet. You're not quite sure of which move to make, of which turn to take, of which sign to follow. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, he said good girl and put a little doggy. He did want to make people sound like dogs. That was a dad joke. I don't even give, I don't care. I think that this is a perfect day for that. So I'm not even going to block you because. Oh, and that also makes me curious. Could you let me know if you're still here? What brings you here? Do you just like to troll in the comments, or is there other stuff going on in your life that brought you here today? Yes, Aisha. The answer is yes. You're gonna have to start us off though, and I'm also gonna ask Spirit, what is this near future position with the Five of Cups in reverse? Could I get a clarifier on that, please? And thank you, thank you, thank you. What? Four of Cups in reverse. Okay. Oh, and there's the Hangman on the bottom. What did I just say? It's following you. Okay. So maybe you're in this same energy where you have a lot of information. You have a lot of things you're like rolling over in your mind. You kind of have a sense of the energy of like where you're being called towards, but you're having a hard time making sense of it. from a left brain cerebral kind of place. And you're being called to accept that and acknowledge that and honor that and take your time with whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? So, with that in mind, can I get one more clarifier for this Eight of Wands and the Sun in the position of the recent past? Thank you. Right. Okay. Could I get a clarifier for the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Wands? I just noticed that. Earth and fire, both fives. Oh my gosh, no way. Is this the Five of Swords? 2122 on the clock. This is the Five of Swords. Five of Pentacles, Five of Wands, Five of Swords. You got major five energy in this present moment. And fives are all about like change. They can be like frustration. They can be about freedom. They can be, but it's about movement. It's about change. It's about things shifting. And the Five of Pentacles, if you're unfamiliar. Oh my goodness. There we go. Here we go. As these two guys, this one's like broken his leg or something. They're out in the cold, in the snow, and they're locked out of this church. And they need the warmth and the food and the charity, but they're locked out and they can't get in. There may be something about being like locked out of a group, of an environment, of an organization, of an identity group, of some kind of source of support, some kind of family. It's like you don't fit the dogma or you don't fit something, so they don't want you in there. It's like you got kicked out. You got kicked out of somewhere. And that would make sense considering the fact that we have the Five of Wands, which is all about like conflict and fighting and competition. And then we have Five of Swords, which is also about conflict and fighting and competition. But like, I love this card where there's these two guys that have dropped their swords. And they're like, dude, why would I want to play with you? You're not even playing fair. You have 3 swords in your hands, and like we don't like your energy. And what the heck is this? Bye. You can have my swords. So you may have like been rejected from an environment, from a community, from some kind of egregore of some sort. And that brought in this energy of like conflict and fighting from the people that, didn't want it to go down that way. But at the end of the day, you stopped fighting with sticks, especially when it started to get dangerous and they started to fight with 3 swords instead of 1 stick. And you lay down your sword. There's a song by Elijah Ray called Lay Down Your Sword. I think it's in the Oracle Jams playlist if you want to look that up. It might be some kind of relevance or confirmation for you. Elijah Ray's just a great human being and musician, and you should listen to him anyways, just cuz. Okay, so Spirit, can I please get a clarifier on this future position that literally has 5 of Cups, the only other 5 card that we didn't get in this present position, but in reverse, as well as 4 of Cups in reverse. This is absolutely crazy. I have never seen anything like this before. And I mean, what a unprecedented time in general. And what an intense day. The longest day ever. I got off of work and it was still sunny outside. I got home and and it was still sunny outside. It's freaking crazy. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. Okay, so 9 of Cups. This is a card of like self-sufficiency, a card of emotional fulfillment, of wish fulfillment. It's like you have almost everything. You don't have you don't have like the family element of it necessarily. It's not like fully realized, but you have every possible bit of emotional fulfillment um, that is possible for you without the buy-in of another person or other people. So definitely it seems like you're moving into a space of more independence, which if you are coming out of this kind of culty energy that I'm getting from the present that you're sifting through and struggling with I don't know, with your family, with your church, with your workplace, with yeah, whatever that community is for you. So I want to go back and look at this recent past real quick because we didn't really get into what this means to me. But we did get the 8 of Wands. This is fast movement. This is incoming. This is incoming messages. So it's like you got a message from the sun, from God, from the Son of God, from your inner child, from the light within you, from your heart, from the Christ in your chest. Like you got a download. You got a download. That's funny. This baby has the little censoring here, and there's just one star on this card, and my bindi is just one star here. So there may be something about like you had a download directly into your subconscious, and that download in the recent past that you received was there's no victory here. You may want it, but this is a hairy situation. This is unworkable. There is no victory here for you. There is no victory here for the goals that you want to achieve. There is no victory here. There is no potential here. This is not for you. And what is this that is not for you? Well, I would say likely this place. This place is not for you. And you came to realize that, but you came to realize that in like an intuitive sense. You came to realize that internally in a way that defies or goes beyond words. And so that's why you got all the information all at once. And now you're having to take some time to sit with it to understand, like, what does this actually mean? I know the truth in it. I can feel it in my chest. But what the heck is this? What's going on? Because I was so caught up in this delusion that everything's okay and there's nothing to worry about here. But now that I know in my chest that there is no victory here, I think that victory had something to do with this power, with this rulership, with this emperor, with this king, with this leader. There is no victory in following this leader. This could be some kind of like political or social movement that you engaged in, and it was under a certain under certain assumptions that you had, certain beliefs that you had about the people that got you involved in it, or about the people that were in leadership, about the ideas, about the potential. But as things have progressed, you have felt something be off. you can see the emperor has no clothes, and you know that you need to renew your loyalty, your allegiance. You need to move to a space that is stable, because this stability and this community that you were trying to grow into, develop, be a part of, not only is there not really a place for you here, really, to be who you are and be a part of this community simultaneously, those things don't really mesh, but also there is no victory for this leader. This is giving so much of like the fall of false leadership, but it's up to you to make decisions that lead to the dethroning of these false idols right now. And that is a large ask to ask somebody to do for us. And so I appreciate that. Whatever the situation is, even if it's down to your personal life and just like your personal family or like something really small like that, if it's not a big global or political thing, we need you to be in alignment in order for all of us to be able to be in alignment and be in position. And all of our positions are completely unique to us and completely different. So it's really important that we find the right space within the right community in order for the structure and the balance of the whole to operate properly. So even if you're just in your own little world, you're like, oh, what difference does little old me make? A very big difference. I think so. So this is the environment that you are acknowledging the toxicity within. And because of that, there's all this instability, this desire for freedom, this desire for change, this desire for shift. But really what you're experiencing right now is like feeling cold, feeling left out in the cold, being fought with, trying to, walk away from, push off, avoid, escape people fighting with you, trying to escape the cold, trying to escape the cult, you might be literally escaping a cult of some kind, that can go from a bad relationship to a narcissistic family system to a religious organization to literally like, what was that, QAnon? Like, I don't know if I'm gonna get banned and blocked for that. Sorry. Have a good night. I will go live again, probably tomorrow, but I'm not really sure exactly what time. I'm gonna be doing a regularly scheduled live soon, though. So feel free to let me know if you have particular times that work for you, and then I'll gear that regularly scheduled live so we can, predict it and stuff. Yeah. Have a great night. Thank you. My friend Jonathan sends me pictures of sunrises and sunsets all the time. So that's where I got that one from. I don't think it was necessarily from today, but there's lots of sun energy here today, right? Not only is this the sun card that sparked all of this change, but it's the sun. And the sun is a star. Yes. Okay. Oh, whoa. I just got something about a shift in rulership, a change in rulership being related to the star in the sky that is our star, that is our sun. And the fact that many people believe that the sun was not always our star, was not always our primary, was not always our sun. And before the sun, a lot of people believe that Saturn was our sun. There is a lot to go in there. And I don't know if we have time to do it today. But if you are interested in those sorts of themes, perhaps look into that. Right now, we have a shift going on with Saturn, not even from what we see from Earth, but literally astronomically, the scientific tools that we have to measure what's going on in space right now show us that Saturn's rings, the most definitive, or the most, the thing that gives Saturn its identity these days. Is there a song or a band called The Rings of Saturn? I'm totally blanking right now, but I think there's something with that too. But yeah, the rings of Saturn are raining down on Saturn. They're falling down. They're being pulled back into Saturn and its gravitational field. And when I learned about this, I found out that Saturn, in its early infant stages, did not have rings. And probably something happened that generated some kind of impact interaction with the planet Saturn that created those rings. And many people believe that it is something to do with the trauma and the cataclysm that led to our sun shifting from Saturn to the star that we have today. So it's giving me so much this feeling of like a final step of like healing and integration and shifting out of this reactionary space that we have all been in for hundreds and thousands of years, of this forgotten traumatic experience that defines humanity, that many people believe defines, the things that we think of as humanity, all the art, all of the technology, all of the development, all the things that make us weird and special were likely a response to a traumatic event that led to mutations in our DNA, but also mutations in the way we think and talk and the stories we tell each other and the patterns that we carry in our nervous systems and pass down to our children. So there's something about a healing happening right now, but Saturn's rings aren't all rained down. Saturn doesn't look different yet. It's just in the process, which is giving this hanged man energy. There is a change in rulership. And Saturn has ruled and had a grip on the psyches of so many people for so long, especially in the culty and occulted, like hidden spaces for so long. And it is this feeling of like being traumatized and feeling empowered by the superpowers that trauma gives you without gaining the wisdom that going through that trauma and then choosing forgiveness gives you. Saturn worship, the way it is practiced by most people today, it is void of forgiveness. It is void of that Christ essence. It is all about saying power is what it is. Power is power. What's that meme from Game of Thrones with that psycho queen? Power is power. And there was also this meme that was coming through recently about the Five of Pentacles and the snow in this card. It said something about if you don't find the joy in the snow, then you have just as much snow, just with no joy. Right? Okay. So we got Harry, harmonica. These are both realities right now. The sun and Saturn. The trauma and the healing. The problem and the solution. It's all coexisting right now. As we speak. As we sit in our hangman position and look at this shift in rulership that we are being empowered and encouraged to take a part in. So yeah, I'm going to fight, but I'm not going to fight with you guys. I'm not going to fight this like useless combative energy. I'm going to fight against the tyrants that I put into power or that I allowed to remain in power. I'm going to find a new solution. And I'm going to find a new solution by feeling the genuine pain and the authenticity of the problem. The deeper we go into the problem, the deeper we experience the problem, the deeper we acknowledge the problem, the more deeply we will be able to heal and acknowledge or process and resolve the problem. And it is in accepting this current moment of tension and change that, pardon me, that allows us to do this for real this time. I forget which chapter of the Anastasia books she talks about all of the repeated catastrophes on Earth that we bring upon ourselves, and it's cycles within cycles. But just because this has been the past doesn't mean that it has to be the future. So we have to change the way that we look at and process and respond to problems in order to come up with a truly, genuinely new solution that doesn't just look new on the surface, but actually is new in its substance, in its frequency, in its light language. And because that's so elusive and so many people have been working on this for so long, we can't get caught up in the hopelessness of that. We have to actively work to develop our faith in order to move forward here. But in order to find a new solution, we have to come away from all of these preconceived ideas and notions that are looping us back into the same old patterns and the same old reactions and the same old solutions, and allowing us to convince ourselves that just because it looks different on the surface, that it's coming from a different substance. We have to tap into something greater than ourselves and sit and feel and contemplate and not rush it and not try and push forward and push ahead to the more comfortable part, the more beautiful part. Like, you had a download that something was not gonna work, that something was not good, that there was no victory in something, that we needed to dethrone some power. And when you made that shift internally and mentally, all of the forces that benefited from your compliance, even just in the 5D, which is interesting, right? 555, 5D. They were activated. You started being attacked, abandoned, rejected, ridiculed, stabbed, smacked, manipulated. And so right now you might be feeling like, what the heck? I'm making shifts and changes. I'm seeing the truth clearly. I'm feeling what I need to feel. I'm doing what I need to do. Why are things getting worse? Because you have to allow things to get worse before they get better. Because it is in rushing to escape the pain that creates the distortion and the delusion and the issues that brought us to where we were when we realized that there was no victory in the path that we were pursuing. So, to sit in the unknown, to sit with that disconcerting, unsettling feeling of, I know something needs to change, but I don't know what to do. It makes you feel small, it makes you feel powerless, it makes you feel weird, right? But that's what you need. So right now you're kind of being tested. I mean, yes, it is just a reaction of the forces that want to keep you down to try to keep you down, right? Last ditch effort. But it's also that you are being tested by the divine to be like, are you really serious about this? Are you willing to move forward in this, with this message, with this knowledge? Are you willing to move forward, even if it's hard? Are you willing to make this choice and this shift and this commitment at all costs? Are you willing to put your head down and not count the cost? Are you willing to go through hard times? Because if you're being honest with yourself, you were already going through hard times. You may have told stories to yourself. You may have set up certain things. You may have been, convinced people of certain things and gained validation from that. Like, there may have been some ways that you convinced yourself you were all right. But if you're being honest with yourself, you were struggling. So yes, you're struggling now, but you're struggling now from a place of honesty and movement and change and integrity. So the question is, if it's going to be hard either way, then what are you willing to put that effort into? What are you willing to put that unsettled, like, what are you willing to persevere through? And what at the end of that would make it worth it? And I think in that process is where you're going to find your solution. The solution is to get really honest with yourself about what you actually want. Because you probably wanted to be accepted, supported, allowed to move forward by this community, in this building, this church, this state, this identity group. You wanted something out of the experience of being a part of this church. But again, you were never going to be able to be who you actually are within this. So even if you succeeded in what you were trying to succeed in by becoming a part of this community, you would find that you actually had failed and you had actually abandoned yourself, and in the pursuit of making other people happy and finding some security that you were after, finding something you were after, you realize there is no victory here. And I have to go my own way. So if you come into this uncomfortable realization that things are hard right now, not because other people are making them harder for you, not because you put yourself into a situation that wasn't aligned, not because of any reason. Things are hard right now because that is the energy right now. That is what is happening right now. That is what you need right now. That is what the world needs right now. It is what it is. So in the recent past, we had 444, right, with the Renew Monarch 444. In the present, we have 555 just because we have 3 5 cards. all the worst, most intense 5 cards. And then in your future, if you continue to go through this process of accepting the pain, of looking at things with radical honesty, of letting go of the idea of like rejecting any of your emotions, any of them, then you're going to come into this 9 of Cups. I don't need anybody. I am emotionally fulfilled. I'm aligned. I'm balanced. I would not mind giving and receiving and sharing my resources, my wealth, my currency, my salt, my water, my wine, my love. I do not mind the idea of those things, but because I am so fulfilled and emotionally self-sufficient, and I have survived being ousted from this community, and I know, who I am and what I need and what I'm capable of and what I deserve and all of that kind of stuff, I am not going to move towards that 10 of Cups for any reason unless it is fully authentic and aligned. So a lot of times people get kind of like a greedy, almost negative energy off of this card, but I'm actually just getting this like quiet strength. It's like it's like confidence. It's like unshakableness. Like when you look in somebody's eyes and they don't stink at you, and they don't look at you like encouragingly and lovingly. It's like that like dead stare, but it's not cold. It's filled with fire, but it's like I'm burning from within. I'm not gonna burn you. I'm not afraid of your fire. I'm not gonna let my fire get out of control and get out there and mess with you. But I'm burning inside. And I have the fire of alchemy within me. And the fire of alchemy is uncomfortable. The fire of alchemy can be painful. The fire of alchemy is about holding opposites, of looking at the Harry, of looking at the harmonica, and just saying both and saying it's all true, it's all real. And how can that be? And it's so much to hold, but I can hold all of these emotions and all of these frequencies and all of these realities within me. I can feel all of these paradoxical emotions within me. I can see and observe and witness all of these paradoxical realities around me. And I am unshakable here. And I am unwilling to compromise. And I am creating something beneficial for the world, but I'm putting myself first because I have to protect myself. I cannot merge. I cannot merge with things and people that are full of the energy of division, of black and white, of defensiveness, of lack of accountability, of blaming others, of framing others, of manipulating others, of rejecting others. And I don't mean like tolerance. I don't mean like letting everybody and everything into your energy field. I mean just a lack of actively rejecting others, a lack of attacking others. So to experience all of this from the world around you and the people around you, all of the struggle right now, all of the strife around you right now, experiencing that is helping you to process the reality of your recent past, to help motivate you to move into this future, because this is not an easy energy to get into. And a lot of people will see you in a poor light when you get this health and this happiness and this balance in your life. But you're starting to realize that those are not the people that you want to partner with anyways. And in your near future, as you're moving into this independence, into this empowered space, you are going to turn the fives around. You're going to turn around this 5 of cups and this 4 of cups. I might have did that backwards. One or the other. But the 4 of cups and the 5 of cups, you're going to turn that around, which is funny. We had 444 in the recent past and 555 in the present. There's 4 cups and 5 cups. Your emotions, all the emotional processing that you're going through right now, all the alchemy that you are pursuing right now is turning these cards of your future around. And in this card, the 4 of Cups is like dejected dude right here, looking at how he is unhappy with this hairy situation, with this 3 of Cups energy right here, with this community, and he doesn't see this cup of love being handed to him by God. When you turn it around, this is you getting that message, right? So you already got the message, but that's in process right now. You're continuing to receive more and more. It was a really fiery, intense download. All wands, all fire, fire, fire. And then, yeah, whoa. Well, the sun is fire, right? In the past, it's all fire. In the future, it's all water. You had something itching, burning, moving fast, creating change in your life, requiring you to shift, forcing you out of a comfort zone. You were forced out of a comfort zone recently. But everything that you've learned through the process of being forced out of that comfort zone is allowing you, to develop emotional balance and harmony and fulfillment and integrity in a way that maybe you've never experienced or maybe you haven't stepped into in a long time. Maybe it was this community in some way or another, this influence that was holding you back. Because you are this dude. You have all these cups. You have all of these resources. You have all of this depth. You are an ocean. But the thing that was keeping you in this energy, or in this energy, right? What is it? Because you have this cup right here behind your head, and then you have these 2 cups behind this guy's head, right? So this is the Ace of Cups. Total wish fulfillment. Total wish fulfillment just hanging out behind you. 2 of Cups. Connection. Love. Partnership. Soulmates. Like soul family. You have complete wish fulfillment and deeply balanced connection hanging out, just waiting there behind your head, behind your back. So you had to go into your subconscious. You had to burn. You had to do something intense in order to get you to stop looking at these 3 cups that are knocked over. Stop looking at these 3 cups full of stuff you don't want. Stop looking at this 3 of Cups. You don't need that 3 of Cups. The Three of Cups was never something you needed. And in fact, when you turn around, what is this? 1, 2, 3 cups. A new community. A new community. Yeah. You know who you are now. You are unwilling to compromise that for anything. You'd rather be in pain. You'd rather be ended. You are not counting the price. You know what you are doing and who you are, and you're moving forward on that at all costs. And when you find this energy, when you come into this energy, you will find a new community that balances your genuine personal wish fulfillment with actual, genuine, authentic connection with other people, because they have found this energy within themselves. So think about that leader, think about that emperor, think about that king, think about that political leader, think about that preacher, think about that head of the family. Think about that person. And as you are sitting in this contemplation of trying to understand the download that you have recently received, ask yourself, does this leader, does this person that I've been pouring my validation and my support into in, hopes of connection and community and mutual support. It may look like mutual support on the surface in some ways, but that can be performative. You can't have real, true, genuine, lasting, sustainable mutual support with somebody who does not have this 9 of Cups, does not have this balance, this self-sufficiency, this empowerment, this integrity. I'm fully self-resourced, so everything I do with you is not out of desperation and not out of need and not out of an animalistic, like I will do anything just to get what I need. But it comes from a place of wisdom, and it comes from a place of truth, and it comes from a place of balance and personal integrity. Because everybody involved in this community has emotional fulfillment. They're not using you. And you need that in any community that is going to sustain. It's very interesting. We were talking a lot about community in the recent Ringing Cedars of Russia chapters for whatever reason. It was just coming up a lot. And the importance of who you align with. So I think that that's the main thing right now in your contemplation as you're processing all these changes and moving into and getting prepared for the next step, so that you have this unshakable, knowledge of what you want to do. Keep reflecting on that. Like, this can look different for everybody, the way that it's expressed, but you want this in yourself, you want this in others, you want this in your community members, you want this in your leaders. But all you have the most control over really is yourself. So start there. But then also, as you have control over yourself and the people you surround yourself with, they're, because of that, consider in every situation, in every relationship, in every opportunity, where is this energy? What kind of 9 of Cups is here? Is there a 9 of Cups here at all? And I think that will allow you to gain a lot of clarity and to be able to start moving forward more. And if you still struggle, I would recommend taking some time to invest in your prayer life with genuine faith, with genuine expectation of assistance, of answers, of insight. It's not easy at first. It is fake and hokey and weird when you first start with gratitudes, when you first start with prayer, when you first start speaking to the universe with the genuine intention and expectation that there is a solution to be had, and that you are a co-creator with the universe, and that you have power, and that there's purpose in every experience that you have. You know what I mean? Wow, we only pulled 3 cards for the past, the present, and the future. We only pulled 9 cards total. Interesting. 9. Oh my gosh. 4 in the recent past, 5 in the present, 5 and 4 is 9. You're gonna take everything you've learned from the light of God that downloaded into your chest, and everything that you've learned from all the pain and sorrow and conflict of the people around you. You're gonna combine it, and you're gonna develop the strength and the integrity and the balance within yourself to be capable of turning down this nasty 3 of Cups energy that you don't want, and receiving the connection and the fulfillment that you do want, because you've released the attachment to making sure it happens, to forcing it to happen, to putting it on the timeline you want, to making it look the way that you want, to making it look the way you expected, etc., etc., etc. Yeah. But we only have 9 cards out on the table and like a couple of index cards, and we're already over an hour right here. So whenever that happens, I feel like this is a very clear, very direct from spirit, just channeled message and insight. I don't feel like there is a whole lot of my own stuff getting in the way here. I think that it's very relevant to all of you guys. I think that you understand the unique aspects of each of your situations and how that impacts and applies there. And this is just a very beautiful reading. I know that the summer solstice, for a lot of people, they think of it in such a positive way. But what I was getting, the only download I really got about this reading before I sat down was the other day when I was meditating on it, Midsommar. And obviously, yeah, the movie is about the middle of the summer and about like these kinds of traditions. But it was giving very much the energy of like, don't judge a book by its cover. And leaders who develop community in response to trauma without integrating the energy of forgiveness truly leads to a lot of pain and suffering, a lot of problems. And Midsommar, oh my gosh, it's not even just about the pain and the fire and the trauma and the distortion and the sitting with that and the experiencing that and the how uncomfortable and unsettling, right? Everybody was very unsettled in that movie because of all of the confusion and the unknown. But there was literally, spoiler alert, sorry if you're, worried about that, but there is literally a fire at the end of the movie, right? They get in the house and they burn it down. You go inside of the house You go inside of the house. You see the truth. And you feel it, and you let it burn. And you let it transform. You let it burn. And you, through that experience, some people would say it changes you. Some people would say for the worse, some people would say for the better. I would say that the people that say that that changes you for the worse are the people who want you to not see the truth, that want you to keep pouring into their delusion. But it changes you. And it changes you into this kind of, this isn't, it's not the Joker, but it's like, I don't know. I forget the names of the characters in that movie, but it's like Midsommar. I laughed so hard at that movie. It was so good. And specifically in the end scenes too, when they get in the house and they burn it down with themselves inside of it. I laughed so hard because it was so relatable. And I realized it's not just, you're not alone. The wisdom and the balance and the integrity and the unshakableness and the knowledge of the world and the knowledge of yourself that you gain, you're not alone. It may feel isolating because everybody in this community that you were in lacks that transformative fire that has changed them. But you are staring down the barrel of a pew pew without fear. That's what this is. You're processing a lot right now because you're looking it straight in the face. You're looking the truth straight in the face. You're looking the problem straight in the face. And that hurts. There's a reason you were avoiding it for so long. You did not want to see what you have in front of you. You did not want to see what you're looking at. You had so much motivation, so many reasons to avoid this. But you couldn't avoid it anymore, or you wouldn't avoid it anymore. You didn't avoid it anymore. And now you're fearless. And now you're fearless in the way that God is fearless. You don't know everything, but you know enough to know that there's no point in controlling everything. And there is every point in trying and co-creating and putting your best foot forward and going for the hard thing. And you're fearless and you're going to change. You're going to turn around this feeling of being dejected and disappointed. Because it was always a matter of perspective. And the reason you felt left out in the cold like that was because you depended on undependable forces. But when you start to depend on yourself and you start to depend on God and the universe and nature and these things that you actually can depend on, that changes everything. And that changes your ability to actually connect with people also. But this is going to be a different kind of connection, very unlike anything that you've experienced before. And that in and of itself may be triggering and fear-inducing. But remember, you are fearless and you've got God backing you. You've got God by your side. God's got your back. And not only is that the case, but you know that to be the case. And really, that's mainly the case when you ask for it to be the case. God wants consent. God wants free will. God wants you to choose. But to choose requires the testing, right? Requires the thing that you would rather not deal with being presented to you as the only option forward if you want to move forward in truth and in wisdom and in sustainability and in power and in truth and in integrity and alignment. Your heart, the gold of your heart, is being tested by the fire, and you know that it's worth it. You bang up this sword, right? It's like blacksmithing, you know? And you get it really hot. So you get it really hot so that you can mold it and form it and shape it and change it. And then you like dunk it in ice water or something, right? If there are any blacksmiths out there, feel free to call me out on my nonsense. Okay, I'm gonna light a little bit of dragon's blood sage here for y'all today, because as much as this is so beautiful and so inspiring, it is also very heavy. I would be lying to say anything different. This is just about extremes, right? Which again is so appropriate because it is the summer solstice and the height and the release in the north. But everybody that lives south of the equator is literally the complete opposite time right now. So, ooh. There's something about delineation and, it's like you're telling good from bad, right from wrong, power from evil. You're separating things. But it's like in acknowledging the truth and in separating those things and saying this is different from this. I don't want to acknowledge it. It's not fun, but this is truly different than this. That is how you find the integration again. That is how you find it's all part of one thing. It's the resistance to one side that creates the distortion. That being said, thank you so much for joining me today. This was really fun. 7,800 on the clock exactly. I'll see y'all tomorrow for another message. Love, light, peace, and personal responsibility. I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer solstice, Father's Day, Cancer season, waxing moon, and Virgo, etc. Yeah. Love, light, peace, and personal responsibility. I will see you next time.